Welcome to Young Legends, the channel where we celebrate incredible stories of young people who change the world. Today, we're diving into the lives of 5 unstoppable young activists who refuse to accept the status quo. From ancient legends to modern trailblazers, their courage continues to inspire us all. Let's jump in. First, let's step back into the 15th century, a time of war, political upheaval, and deep divisions in France. Born in 1412, Joan of Arc grew up as a simple peasant girl in Domremy, tending animals and helping on the farm. But from a young age, she claimed to receive visions from saints, urging her to save France from English rule. At just 17, she convinced the heir to the French throne, Charles VII, to let her lead an army to lift the siege of Orléans, a pivotal battle in the 100 Years' War. Dressed in white armor, she carried her banner and inspired soldiers to fight with renewed hope. Against all odds, Joan's leadership turned the tide of the war and gave France a new sense of unity. But her courage came at a cost. Captured by the Burgundians and handed over to the English, she was tried for heresy, accused of witchcraft, and burned at the stake at just 19 years old. Yet her legacy endured, and centuries later, she was canonized as a saint, a symbol of unwavering faith, resilience, and the power of a young woman's voice. Next, we meet Malala Yousafzai, born in 1997 in Pakistan's Swat Valley, a region known for its beauty but also for the Taliban's oppressive rule. From an early age, Malala's father, an educator, instilled in her a love for learning. But when the Taliban took control of her town, they banned girls from attending school. At just 11 years old, Malala began writing an anonymous blog for the BBC, documenting the fear and defiance of life under the Taliban. Her words reached readers around the world, giving a voice to countless girls who had been silenced. Even as threats against her grew, Malala refused to back down. She appeared on television, spoke at local gatherings, and challenged the idea that girls should be denied an education. At 15, she was attacked on her way home from school by those who wanted to silence her. Miraculously, she survived, and her voice grew even stronger. Malala continued her fight, addressing the United Nations, writing her memoir, and becoming a global advocate for education. In 2014, she became the youngest ever recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize at just 17. Her courage reminds us that the fight for education is far from over, and that every child deserves the chance to learn. From ancient warriors to modern climate activists, young people have always led the way. Xiuhtezcatl Martinez, born in 2000 in Colorado, grew up immersed in the traditions of his Aztec heritage. His name, Xiuhtezcatl, means turquoise warrior, and from a young age, he lived up to it. At just 6 years old, he began speaking at environmental events, urging people to take better care of the planet. As he grew older, Xiuhtezcatl became the youth director of Earth Guardians, a global youth-led environmental organization. He led campaigns against fracking, fossil fuels, and climate inaction, even filing lawsuits to hold governments accountable for protecting the environment. But Xiuhtezcatl's activism isn't just about protests and speeches. He's also a hip-hop artist, using his music to raise awareness and connect with young people worldwide. His message is clear: we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children. His story shows that culture, art, and activism can work hand in hand to inspire a more sustainable future. In South Africa, during the height of the AIDS crisis, a young boy named Nkosi Johnson became a symbol of hope. Born HIV positive in 1989, Nkosi lost his mother to the disease and faced stigma and discrimination that often kept children like him hidden from the public eye. But Nkosi refused to be silent. At just 11 years old, he stood before the International AIDS Conference in Durban in 2000 and spoke truth to power. He called for compassion, education, and dignity for children living with HIV/AIDS, reminding the world that no one, no matter their age or health, should be denied their humanity. Nkosi's words moved people to tears, and his advocacy helped change perceptions about HIV/AIDS in South Africa and beyond. Tragically, he passed away at just 12 years old, but his message endures. His legacy reminds us that courage isn't measured in years, it's measured in heart. And finally, we turn to a name synonymous with modern youth activism, Greta Thunberg. Born in 2003 in Sweden, Greta was just 15 when she decided to skip school one Friday to protest outside the Swedish parliament. Holding a simple sign that read, "School Strike for Climate," she sparked a global movement. Her weekly strikes inspired millions of young people worldwide to demand urgent action on climate change. Greta's speeches, direct, unfiltered, and often uncomfortable, challenged world leaders to act responsibly for future generations. She's been called both a hero and a troublemaker, but one thing is undeniable: her impact is profound. Greta reminds us that change doesn't always start in the halls of power. Sometimes it starts with one young person, one sign, and the courage to speak the truth. Her activism proves that even the smallest spark can ignite a worldwide fire for change. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the lives of young legends who have changed the world. If you found their stories as inspiring as we did, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you don't miss our next video. Let's continue celebrating the power of youth together, because every young voice matters.